But I mean, everything about actual Waldorf philosophy, like I just thought it was great. I loved it.
I was reading a couple of the comments there, so like from people talking about how they feel that the spirit of Steiner thinking, Steiner education, Waldorf education, is sort of like disappearing out of the system. People who've got like long experience, and that is tragic. That is tragic, because that means the heart and the soul of Waldorf is being ripped out, but they're still using the good name.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Angus Hawkins from philosophyofreedom.com. Today I'm going to interview Chris Prosser, a parent who wanted to send his son to a school, to a Waldorf school in Austin, Texas. I'm really looking forward to doing this interview with Chris Prosser, because it's a powerful story he has to tell. Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon. You're in Austin. I'm in Sweden. So really good to have you here, Chris. You've got a very interesting story to tell us about something that's happening in Waldorf education, a personal experience that seems to be a national experience. You're a parent who's done his best to secure a good school for his child. One of a parent's highest responsibilities. Yeah, you've run into a wall of problems there, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely hit some roadblocks.
Okay, so tell us first a little bit about what attracted you to Waldorf education. Why did you want your son to go to a Waldorf school particularly?
Sure. Well, as a parent, knowing what is going on politically in our school systems, have other family members who are fighting the same battles. We interviewed many schools. We went to Waldorfs, Montessori's, more of your general kinds of schools, just like your private. And we really liked Waldorf because they integrated an outdoor aspect and a nature aspect and tactileness, hands-on, instead of handing you a tablet and teaching you about nature. They're like, let's go for a nature walk, and they go walk through the woods. Like, instead of trying to teach geometry, they take them outside and teach them woodworking, and they show them how to make a bevel or a certain kind of joint. You need 90 degrees, and it's all very hands-on, and it clicks. And I thought, boy, there was just a lot of great parts about Waldorf that would, had it been seen through the way that I thought, it would just make the most well-rounded individual, at the other side that I could think of. So it just seemed like perfect for what we were looking for. And so I talked to my mom, and I was like, man, it's not cheap. But she's like, well, she wanted the best for him too. So she's like, we'll make it happen. And we got everything together, and we made it happen.
Is this your first child that you wanted to put through? Or?
Yep. We have also about to be a 2-year-old. But yeah, this is my first son.
Yeah. The way I've understood it, it was actually quite a lengthy process before your son even started there.
Yeah, you have to go. Well, you fill out like an application essentially. Then you go and tour the facility, which we did more than once. We went ourselves, me and my wife, and my mom, who's also a big supporter for us, also went because she wanted to see it for herself. And we also had a lot of tough questions for the administrators while we were there. We wanted to clear the air way up front that things that we were concerned about were not a part of Waldorf.
Yeah. And what were some of your biggest concerns?
So we brought up straight away to at least 2 administrators just out of the gate about diversity, equity, inclusion, CRT. It's a fine thing to talk about amongst basically like older people who can think critically for themselves. The problem becomes when they're bringing it into classrooms and teaching it alongside math and English and history to our children, who they don't know any different. And they are taught that you fail because of your skin color, or you succeed because of your skin color, or you're an oppressor and you're an oppressed, or it's just setting children up basically for the next wave of future people to basically hate each other. Our opening concerns that we addressed with the administration was DEI and CRT, and we didn't just use the acronyms and call it good. We went into depth with what these things mean to us, and why I feel they shouldn't be in a school system, and like, is this here? Just emphatics. No, that's terrible. That shouldn't be, any part of, teaching for children. And
were you given what, when you talked with the school, when you selected your walk arounds the school, you talked about this topic specifically, and then how did the school respond to your questions?
We walked around with the enrollment director, and her responses were just flat no, like, those don't exist here. And I told her that, they are showing up in other schools, and it's a problem even here in Texas. But I think we've even banned CRT to an extent, but the problem is it's not called CRT.
It's given other names.
So I was on the phone with the administrator, the pedagogical administrator or director, for over an hour. And we went deep dive into the curriculum and what my fears were with DEI, CRT, all the things that fall under that umbrella. That I didn't want any part of it, period. Like, if it's in this school, like, please tell me, because I'll just take my stuff and go. Like, well, let's get it out of the way here.
That's your red line, basically. Yes.
And 2 months in, we get an email about them announcing the SEED project for this year, and how they're happy to invite parents to sign up and receive diversity, equity, inclusion training. And that's when I went down the rabbit hole and started digging into the SEED project, what it is, who they are, what they're really representing, what they're really bringing into the school. So the SEED program was how Austin Waldorf wanted to embed CRT into their ranks. And the SEED program, or SEED project, I forget, it's one or the other, is run by a lady who is a self-professed feminist. I went to her website and read all her papers. It's on the SEED project's website, proudly posted. It's just a plethora of hate towards whites, towards males, towards heterosexuality. It just blew me away that they would want to bring this into a school. And
so Austin Waldorf School recruited this organization to
train their teachers,
work with their school, with the Waldorf school.
Well, they didn't want to teach it straight to the students. So their way of doing it is to bring the SEED project in and partner with them under the guise of, we're just bringing in like diversity, equity, and inclusion specialists. And all the parents are like, oh, okay, that sounds fine. But when you actually like go and research what this program is, it's definitely the opposite of that. And basically it is the umbrella, guise by which they've snuck in these principles to the school, and they teach it to the teachers.
So this was the first time you'd ever heard about SEED project, when you were actually invited to participate?
Yep. But I had not known, but the pedagogical administrator had actually started this partnership with the SEED project a year or two prior. He was already deep into it. He knew all about it.
The guy who promised you there was nothing there had already been talking with somebody about this as long as 2 years ago.
He was basically the champion for bringing it in. Like, it's his baby.
Wow.
So he was,
that must hurt.
Was not like unaware. He fully knew what I was talking about, and just totally sidestepped that one, let it go right by. He wanted me to he wanted me to hear what I wanted to hear in order to hand over the check, and to not, have any reason to or ability to get money back.
That's not a pleasant realization to come to, that somebody has lied to you. It's like, straight in the face.
Yeah, it was, I mean, not just that, but I just immediately was just almost, ready to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Not for that and not for the money, but the fact that my son had been through a lot and we thought we had found really the perfect place and he was really happy.
Yeah.
And now to know that I'm gonna have to pull him out and I'm gonna have to have the conversation to say, buddy, you can't go to the school in the forest anymore. And how do I explain that to him? And how do I, I mean, how do you do that to a kid that I don't want to tell him about, oh, people are teaching bad things or something. I don't want to put that on teachers because, but it was just really, really tough as a parent to come to that realization that you've been lied to, and now you have to pass that terrible news on to your kid. And yeah, it's rough.
So you pulled him out after 3
Immediately.
months?
Yeah. As soon as I got that letter, you take children who are entering, I mean, and they're starting as young as kindergarten. They walk in the door innocent. And I just can't understand why a teacher would want to take that away. Why would you take kids who all play with each other and are all buddies and who they don't care about each other's color? I mean, they walk in as just kids. Like,
there's an innocence there,
and that's beautiful, and that's the way that I grew up as a kid, and probably my parents grew up. And I mean, we have a history back to where that wasn't the case, but we've come a long way. And to try to like reverse that, basically we're going back to Jim Crow, not going further away from it. I decided the most powerful thing I can do, both for our children and for the school as a whole, was to open this up to the whole community, let everybody know, and awaken parents that maybe they just saw it in an email pass by and they just like, oh, okay, deleted it or whatever. That they need to be shaken awake, like this is going on.
Try to get in contact with as many parents as possible. Tell us a little bit about that.
But yeah, it was a great response.
Three angry ones, 5 or 6 middle of the road ones, and then
probably, I don't know, 25 or 30 and just pure support.
What happens then?
The administration needs to know the numbers, and that I'm not the only person who's angry here. And so I wrote them a letter basically saying, like, here's some examples of other parents who are also very angry. Some of them who even talked to the same pedagogical administrator that I did and was fed the same BS lines and non-answers. And some of them with even worse stories than I have to tell. Really terrible things. About 2 weeks ago, I was laying in bed. It was midnight and it was on my mind. And I just went to the computer and started typing a follow-up to all the people that supported me. So I rounded them all up into an email group and emailed them all a letter of my thankfulness and gratitude towards their support, and really cheering them on for reaching out to me, and ultimately telling them and reassuring them that, look at all these people on this email chain, you're not alone. Like, this here is your group. This is your army to go to war with. This is your power right here. Their lawyers came very strong, very aggressive. Basically told me that I had nothing, and that they owe nothing, and there's no litigation possible, and whatever. They wanted to just strong arm me. And so, like, although I ultimately lost out on my money, I was like, this is what I can give to you, is each other. So use each other, talk, go to war if you want, or don't. But I was like, this is
at least you're more informed, and you now know that you're amongst friends.
And they started talking. They've been talking since. So I'm proud of them, and I hope that some kids go somewhere else. A lot of them are talking about where's everybody else going? What other school are you sending your kids to? And, how is it to get in over here? And
but it seems to be much more important. It's as a result of the last couple of years, what's been happening there, this need to somehow find ways to fight the system that's being corrupted. So I feel inspired hearing your story, and Matt, you managing to create that sense of community. And
y'all's website, the philosophy of freedom, actually, I quoted that in some of my letters to the administration. I was like, look, here's some people that are pointing out the exact same things I am. So it's kind of funny that
what did you see on philosophy of freedom there that was that helped you?
Articles about fighting for Rudolf Steiner's original ways of thinking and teaching, and color blindness and meritocracy and things like that.
Yeah. There's what's that quote by Martin Luther King? I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Right.
There was a man who knew how to express sentiments of freedom. I mean, true freedom.
That's what we're fighting for, and that's what a lot of these radical, left-leaning folks have lost sight of. It. Even MLK is fighting for equality here and fighting for judging people based on their character, what's inside their heart, and not by
seeing the person and not their sex or color of the skin or something else, ethnicity.
They are as a whole, as a person. Yeah, and that's what's important.
Very true.